Hey guys, so we're going to be making chocolate chip peanut butter sourdough cookies. So we're going to start off with 2 sticks of butter. We're going to melt that down and then it's going to start browning. Make sure that you stir occasionally so it doesn't stick to the pot. And then once it's all browned up, you're going to get your mixing bowl or a glass, which is what I used. Pour it in there and let it sit until it is completely room temperature. So make sure it's not hot. And then once you have that, then we can actually start making these cookies. So once you have it in your mixing bowl, we're going to start off with putting 1 cup of brown sugar and 3/4 cups of granulated sugar. I actually ended up adding a little bit more brown sugar because I did not have quite 1 cup in there. And then after that, you're going to crack 2 eggs and put them in there. And then add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Brand is up to you. It's all the same, I think. Now we are going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. I didn't have the regular fine salt that I normally use, so I had to use the coarse salt, but just use whatever salt that you have. I would say fine salt is best. Go ahead and add 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Go ahead and give all of that a really good mix in before we start adding the other ingredients. I like to try and make sure everything is evenly distributed before we start putting a bunch of other stuff into it. Now it is time to grab your sourdough starter and make sure it's active and bubbly, or you can also use discard for this recipe. Mine was fed recently, so it was pretty bubbly. I add about 1/2 cup of the sourdough starter to this. I think that translates to about 80 grams. I didn't weigh it out like I normally do, so you can kind of play around with this and put as little or as much as you like, but just know that it's going to ferment faster the more starter that you put into it. The starter can get a bit difficult to get everything out, so I just took a spatula and I just scraped as much as I could, just because it is kind of thick. So I wanted to make sure I got as much in there as possible, and then I just whisked it up, or not whisked, I stirred it up and made sure it was nice and distributed. Now it's time to add some flour. You're going to use 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Brand does not matter, but I do prefer King Arthur. I think it tastes way better than any of the store-bought brands that I've tried before, like Great Value, for example. I think it's a lot higher in quality. So I started with 1 cup and I started to stir it, just making sure that I could get it as smooth as possible instead of adding 2 cups at once, because it's going to be a lot harder to mix that way. Once I felt like it's kind of mixed up enough, I added the 2nd cup in and I mixed it the rest of the way. Have fun watching me struggle while doing this, by the way. Several minutes later, and I'm still mixing. Now it's time for my favorite part, adding in 1/2 cup of the Reese's peanut butter chips. And I'll also be adding 1/2 cup of milk chocolate chips as well. You can substitute for dark chocolate, white chocolate, whatever you want to do. You can do chunks. So just put some chocolate in there, okay? Make it fun, make it tasty. And go ahead and mix this bad boy up until it is nice and smooth and ready to form into little cookie dough balls to put on your baking sheets. By the way, guys, browned butter is totally worth it. It really enhances the flavor, and it honestly smells like melted caramel. It is so good. It's literally life-changing. Now I am just going to start making the little dough balls. I like to roll them around in my hands to kind of smooth them out a little bit before putting them on the baking sheet. I swear this part takes forever, but it is very worth it, especially when you take those fresh cookies out of the oven and you let it sit for a few minutes and then you eat one. It is such an amazing, delicious experience. After I do this, I usually put them in the fridge for at least an hour or two so it can kind of cold ferment a little bit, but you can also put it straight into the oven and bake it at 350 degrees for approximately 12 to 13 minutes. I find that is usually the sweet spot where it's nice and gooey. I also topped it off with some sea salt because I think it really complements it well. But yeah, guys, if you try this recipe, please let me know how you liked it. It's my favorite cookies to make.